Mechanical keyboards have come a long way in recent years. They've become affordable, and you can get some really nice keyboards without hurting your wallet too much. In fact, they've become so affordable that keyboard YouTubers have been discussing whether it is worth it to spend more on custom keyboards at all. But recently, Hall effect keyboards have been all the buzz, and we're starting to see some very affordable ones now. So today, I'll be reviewing one of these budget Hall effect keyboards, the Aula Win68HE, to see if these keyboards are a better purchase than the budget mechanical keyboards that have been dominating the keyboard space till recently. Hello everyone, my name is Fang and I review tech, mostly budget peripherals like keyboards and mice. I would appreciate it a lot if you click that subscribe button, as it is the best way to support my channel, and it also lets brands know that they should send me products to review. Subscribing is free, and if you don't like my content later on, you can always unsubscribe at any time. Hope you enjoyed this video. This keyboard was sent to me by Aula Gear to review. This doesn't affect my review in any way, and all the thoughts in this video are my own. They see this video at the same time as you all when it releases on YouTube. As always, let's begin with the unboxing. In the main box, you get a user manual, a quick actions guide with shortcuts on the back, a plastic dust cover, and the keyboard in a protective sheath. In these little compartments you get a basic USB A to C cable, the strap and the nuts to attach it, and two spare switches. Now, the first thing I noticed is the build quality. It's an ABS plastic case which doesn't feel particularly premium. The finish is nice, but the plastic itself definitely reflects the cost of the keyboard. But despite this, there's no flex to the keyboard. It's sturdy and looks durable. The Win68HE Max has 3 colorways. Visually, it's clean and generic looking. It looks pretty much like any of the other Hall effect keyboards at this price point. I have the white and blue colorway, which looks nice and simple. I don't dislike the way this keyboard looks, just so we're clear. It just doesn't have anything unique going for it visually. The strap is just a visual piece and it doesn't serve any function. It's not like you're gonna be carrying your keyboard around in your hand like a camera. The mounting mechanism for the strap was very finicky to put on, and it took me quite a while to get it lined up and set in. Coming to features, this little board has all the essentials, but not much more. It has Hall effect magnetic switches, which is indicated by the HE in the name, and it has a lot of software adjustable features for these Hall effect switches. They have an advertised precision of 0.02mm, which goes up to 0.01mm in beast mode. Beast mode is only accessible to the Max version and not to the regular version. The Win68 has hot swappable sockets, so you can use certain magnetic switches in these sockets. The Win68 has only a wired connection mode, which allows it to have an 8000 Hz polling rate. The trade-off is that you can't use this board wirelessly, which, in my opinion, is fine at a price like this. This keyboard comes with a tray mounting system, which gives this a stiff typing feel. It might honestly be a good thing because we're talking precision in the hundredths here. When 0.01mm can affect the keystroke, gasket bounce might not be a good idea. But we'll see that in the upcoming Hall Effect keyboard reviews. Subscribe to the channel and stay tuned. All the versions of this keyboard come with south-facing RGB. It's bright and customizable. And you get some basic PBT keycaps. For gaming, Hall Effect switches are a plus. You can set ultralight actuation for rapid key presses or even set multi-stage actions. For example, you press the switch lightly to walk and you press the switch deeper to sprint. It's like an analog control on a keyboard, but not quite. The adjustable actuation distance means you can choose how far you want to push a key for it to register as an input. Now this is a degree of customization that we never had with traditional mechanical keyboards, where you have to get past a certain point in the keystroke to count as an input. Another great thing with these Hall Effect keyboards is that you can set it so that your input stops as soon as you lift your finger a little bit, without coming back to the point of actuation. This gives you a competitive edge in fast-paced games or tag shooters, where a millisecond can be the difference between life and death. Hall Effect keyboards are also very good for certain rhythm games like Osu. It allows you to rapidly press the keys because of the actuation point and the rapid trigger mechanism. Of course, the Win series being 60% or 68% keyboards means that you get a lot of space on your desk for mouse movement. Hall Effect is great for gaming and all, but how does it actually feel to type on? The Wing Chun magnetic switches in the Aula Win68HE Max are linear switches. The tray mount makes the bottom out feel quite stiff, but since the switch springs aren't super heavy, they don't cause much fatigue when typing. The switches come factory lubed, and overall they're nice to type on. The stabilizers are fine, they could use some work. They're not the best I've ever used, but there's no ticking or rattling, which is a very good thing. The typing sound in this keyboard is okay. It's not great, it's not bad, it's just okay. It's a little hollow, especially in the spacebar area. I wonder if some extra foam could help. Here's what the keyboard sounds like. We're gonna take a look at the software of the Aula Win68HE. The Win60HE, 68HE, 60HE Max, Pro, everything has the same. It has a similar software, it doesn't have the same software. So when you open the software, it's gonna look like this. It's gonna look like goofy. It's all in Chinese, but there is an English option, so we're gonna check that out. So you press this button after you've connected your keyboard, and then you go full screen, flash warning. And then in the bottom left corner, you'll see this button called English. You press on English and some of the stuff gets converted to English. So this is the first setting that opens up automatically, which is the light settings. There's the off, the static, and you can change the colors and you can see it in real time changing, right? There's all the options here. You'll have to use Google Translate if you want to do this. There's brightness settings, speed settings. You can reverse it, sleep timer so that the keyboard goes to sleep. You can set this to never or whenever you want. And there's performance settings. This is one of the two more important things in the Hall Effect settings. So there's global travel. So I'll turn on the travel test so you can demonstrate it easier. So you can see it's set to 2 millimeters by default. So when it's light blue, it's not activated. When it's dark blue, it's activated. So you can see that I can set this to be at 0.38 if I want a lighter press. Like every time I touch the keyboard, it's gonna do it. The minimum you can set it to by default is 0.1 mm. So that's basically like anything you do activates it, practically anything you do. And the max you can do is like when it fully bottoms out, that's when it activates. Default was 2 millimeters, so let's set it there. Then there's the single key travel setting, which is basically you can do the same thing, but as you can see, this is 2 millimeters and this is 0.68, right? So the keys that I have not selected are still like with the 2 millimeter setting, and the keys that I have selected have 0.86 millimeters to activate them. You can select them all, reset travel for all, you know. And there's rapid trigger settings. So this is one of the more important things. Just for examples, I'm going to show you WASD. So when you set any settings, you can see that. So there's first trigger stroke, which is basically this, like the global travel. So as it activates after you cross a certain stroke limit, right? Let's set it to 2.10 for reference here. Once you cross 2.10, it activates, right? Then you have dynamic trigger travel and dynamic reset travel, which is even if you crossed it completely, you let go of the key a little bit and you're still past the threshold that you've set, which is 2.10, but it deactivates till you press it down again. So this is really useful for like quick movement or rhythm gaming. This is really nice. This, the dynamic trigger travel and the dynamic reset travel. The trigger travel is what sets like how far you have to go back down after the thing has reset, and the reset value sets how far up you have to go to reset it, right? If you set this to that 1.58 mm, it won't reset till it goes back up a lot. So yeah, I'm gonna set it to default because this is a demonstration. Then there's dead band setting, which is basically the dead zone for the keyboard, and you can set it, if you set it to 0.00 mm, it's basically like there's no dead zone. But this is a bad idea because if you don't have any dead zone, even small movements like you lifting your mouse and putting it back and the table shaking from it can activate the switches, which is very sensitive. So you might want to keep it to a little bit. By default it's at 0.2 and that's what they recommend, so sure, let's go with that. And you can change the polling rate here, which is also fine. Super response, I honestly have no idea what super response is. There's nothing about it in the manual as well. Let me have a look actually. I have the manual right here. Yeah, I don't see anything about that, the super response. But hey, I think it might be referring to what do you call it? Debounce time. So super response might have 0 debounce time. I'm not sure, that's just a guess. Then we're looking at keyboard adjusting. This is basically calibrations. So you can calibrate your key as per your wishes. Not, you know, you just calibrate it as per your keyboard and your tests and stuff, I'm guessing. Then there's, okay, let's go to custom key. This is basically like you just change the switches, the key on your keyboard, what pressing each key does. So if you put A there, now if you're pressing S, it will also be A. I don't want that, so I'm going to put it back. Function 1, function 2 and function 3. By default, function 1 layer has certain shortcuts as you can see on the screen. Function 2 layer is accessed by pressing function and control together. This is very annoying honestly. And by default, for some reason, volume down is to the right of volume up. I don't know why. It's really confusing. That's why I will change it up. I'll switch them, okay, on my board. So now this does volume up as you can see, and this is volume down. This is mute. Yeah, I wish they had keycaps which had labels on them, or they labeled it on top of the keyboard itself, but hey, here we are. It's a budget keyboard and we got up tempered expectations. Layer 3 is by default set to nothing. We'll have to make it ourselves. Anyways, yeah. Then the advanced key section is very important. This is one of the bigger Hall effect things that you can do here. Here you can set it to, you can set each individual key to have DKS, MPT, MT, HDGL, END, SOCD and macro. So DKS is basically you can set your keyboard, you can set a single press to have 4 functions depending on how deep you press your key. MPT is 3 and how deep you push it down. MT is you can hold a key to 2 different things. So if you, let's say for example you hold S, it will like instead of typing out S several times, you can make it so that when you hold S, it'll type your name or your address or your email or something like that, okay? Then there's TGL, which is continuous triggering, which is basically a turbo mode, which you can see in a lot of controllers, where you keep the button pressed, and instead of having a single long input, what it will do is like it'll basically do several inputs, continuous successive inputs. And then end is that when you press a key and when you release a key, two different things happen. Then there's SOCD, which is you can bind two keys and press the last key to release the last key, which means that this is the thing which had a lot of controversy around it, where it's basically called snap tap in other companies. So when you press the D button, it'll automatically lift the S button in this example here, right? Which is really good for strafing in some games. Some games actually ban it, like Counter-Strike has banned it right now. It's really good for rhythm games because you don't have to particularly lift your entire key. Then there's macro, which is like you press a button and it'll send an entire string of things that you've set it to, which you can set here in the macro management section. Then there's update section where you factory reset your keyboard. You can download your drivers. You can see the latest driver version is v1.1.1. The microphone is right here for your reference. That's why I sound a little distant, because the mic is pretty far away from me. Step 1, disconnect the keyboard. Step 2, let's have a look around to see where some screws might be. You can see there's screws in the body here. So to get to them, we'll need to take some keycaps off. See, there's screws on the inside. Well, you know, easier way to do this is to just take off all the keycaps, but I'll just show how many you need to take out. So let's take this off, one screw at a time. Using pretty low quality screws, but yeah, what do you expect for the price, right? They're not bad quality, since they're not super tight. It's not like I'm messing up the chassis in any way. Now how do I take this out? Oh, you just kind of lift it. Yeah, it came out, cool. So as you can see, that's the whole board. Alright, we'll take a look at this in a second. There's a bit of foam in here, not much, just enough to dampen the sound a little bit. This could definitely use more foam. Is there a separate? Yeah, so there's a thin plastic sheet on this as well. I don't know if the camera can see it, but yeah, I can take it out kind of. And then there's the, I don't think this is like pour-on foam. This is not silicone. You can see like the plastic machining is not the highest quality as well. This is definitely higher quality than my Red Dragon keyboards, just letting you know. This isn't that bad. Yeah, this could definitely use more foam, honestly. Okay, so the PCB is decent quality. It's not the best, it's not the worst. Doesn't seem to be any points of failure. The soldering, what I can see, the joints look fine. There's the, you know, classic marker no points and these white things for like checking and whatnot. 0, 4, RA. That's what you get with these PCBs. And how much gap does it actually leave underneath? There's actually not enough gap at all to put any foam down there. So this will sound the way it sounds. I can obviously stuff some foam in there, but you know, the foam will make contact with the PCB, which is not ideal because technically a fire hazard. I'm not gonna do it, but I'm sure tape modding this will make the sound more poppy. So here's the big question. Should you buy the Aula Win68HE? If you're looking for a budget-friendly entry into the Hall effect scene, with most of the standard Hall effect features, that has a solid typing feel, and doesn't cost as much as this month's groceries, then yes, this is a good choice. It's not perfect, and if you don't benefit from the Hall effect features because you don't play competitive titles or you're looking for a keyboard to just type on, then I recommend going for a regular mechanical keyboard like the Aula F65 or several other options. You'll get a significantly better experience there minus the Hall effect features. And in its current state, regular mechanical keyboards are infinitely more customizable because of the mechanical switches that are available, especially in the budget sector. We still don't have a lot of options with magnetic switches, but I'm sure we'll get there. Let me know in the comments if you're thinking of picking up the Win68HE or the Win60HE, or maybe you already have one. Drop your mods and setup ideas down below. Also, I have started a gaming channel, which is linked down in the description below. I didn't want to mix my tech reviews and my gaming content. On Fang Gaming, I'll be playing a lot of games with my girlfriend Fifi, and we are currently actually playing through Elden Ring.
That doesn't look very tough.
Yeah, but don't talk too soon. Are we just...
Oh no, that's bad.
What did I say? What did I say?
I'll also be streaming a lot there once my exams are over, so subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications maybe. So that's gonna be it for the review today. If you found this helpful, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.